training and development of youth and Bhakti Prachar Guru for ISKCON Mayapur and the Center of ISKCON. He was awarded Sannyas Initiation by His Holiness Prachar Swami Maharaj on 3rd September, Radhashtami, last year. Apart from preaching services, Maharaj is serving as the Regional Secretary of ISKCON India for Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Meghalaya, and Arunachal Pradesh. He is also serving as chairman of ISKCON Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya. If you know, we have gone to ISKCON Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya for Govardhan Puja. So this headed by Maharaj's idea, and Maharaj is leading it. Is the chairman of Sri Govardhan. He is also involved in the service of promotion and development of Navdeep Mandal and Gaur Mandal. So let's welcome Maharaj and thank him for Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Bala Giridhari Jaya Gopi Jana Bala Giridhari Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunda Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Jai Radha Madhava. Jaya Gauranikai, Jaya Gauranikai, Gauranikai, Jaya Gauranikai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Haribo, 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 Haribo. Vishnupada Prabhupada Parivrajak Swami Maharaj Bhakti Prachar Swami Maharaj ISKCON Seshadripuram Divine Grace Prabhupada Vishnupada Parivrajak Swami Maharaj अनंत वैष्णव वृंद की नवाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री गिरिराधर शिवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद की राधा कृष्ण को गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड की गोवर्धन की ब्रज वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर धाम श्वेत चक्र धाम के नित्यानंद प्रभु के तदुपरि महामहोत्सव की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की गौर प्रेमानंद all glories to the assembly bodies, all glories to the assembly bodies, all glories to the assembly bodies, all glories of the Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Sakanditansya Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauramani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschat Desatarini Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhajivasa Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradishe Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaskate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vishwamanu Devi Pranamami Haripre Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karati vachalam panghulanghaite Jatkipatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinataram Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Isharam Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So just checking whether you are awake or not. So today is the most auspicious appearance day of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu ki Nityananda Prabhu Avirbhav Tithi Maha Mahotsav ki. So Kali Yuga needs mercy because people are very fallen in this age of Kali, and the process of attaining perfection is not that easy. So mercy is very, very important. And Krishna knows that very well. So before talking about Nityananda Prabhu, we should know who is Nityananda Prabhu. Identity of Nityananda Prabhu is very, very important aspect for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It is said, Brajendanandana Jai Sochishita Hoilo Se Balaram Hoilo Nitai. It is explained, Brajendanandan Krishna, not Krishna, Brajendanandan Krishna. Brajendanandan Krishna has appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Balaram appeared as Nityananda Prabhu. Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Nityananda Prabhu is also known as Nitai. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is known as Gaura, Gaur Nitai. So, you have to understand who is Nitai, then you have to understand who is Balaram, because Balaram has become Nitai. And if you want to know who is Gauranga Mahaprabhu, then we have to know who is Krishna. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. All of you know, right? Accept also. Okay. How many of you accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God? Very good. Just checking. Prabhupada used to check also. Are you convinced Krishna is God? So, understanding Krishna as God is very, very important principle. He is not only God, he is the source of all gods. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Swayam Bhagavan. Ite jangsha kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavansa. And Krishna's first expansion is Balaram. Krishna is unlimited, so his expansions are also unlimited. But first expansion is Balaram. So what is the difference between Krishna and Balaram? Balaram is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is explained in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So then what is the difference? Krishna is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Balaram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is there any difference? There is a big difference in the mood. Krishna is Sabya Bhagavan and Balaram is Sevak Bhagavan. Krishna accepts service and Balaram renders service. That is the difference. And that's why Balaram is known as original Guru, Adi Guru. Because the purpose of Guru is to serve Krishna. All of us. Everybody is a servant of Krishna. Ekela Ishvara Krishna, Arsha Bhikti. This is the clear understanding. So if that understanding is clear, then everything is clear. That everybody is a servant of Krishna. So Balaram is the servant of Krishna. Most important servant. This first expansion. So Balaram serves Krishna in 5 verses. Generally, devotees serve in one particular verses, but there are some devotees also serves in multiple verses. That is also there, explained by Rupa Goswami. It's not that a devotee has to be one particular verse only. That is one category. But there are some devotees also, they serve in multiple verses also. But Balaram does not serve only in multiple verses, he serves in all verses. Nobody else can do that. So Balaram is serving Krishna eternally. Krishna is eternal, Balaram is also his eternal servant. So first he serves in Shantaras. So Krishna needs a place, needs dresses, needs paraphernalia, so many things he needs. His needs are also unlimited. Krishna is unlimited, his needs are also unlimited. That's why he needs a servant who is also having unlimited potency. So Balaram has expanded himself into his dham, his bed, his floor, his garments, so many things. Whatever he needs is the expansion of Balaram. This temple is also expansion of Balaram. The pillars, Balaram. The altar, Balaram. Everything is, who is sustaining Krishna is Balaram. In that way, Balaram serves Krishna in Shantaras. Dasharas, because that is the fundamental aspect of every servant. You have to be the servant. Jive Swarupa, Krishna Nityadas. So Balaram has that mood also, because he is the Sevak Bhagavan. So he has the mood of a servant, although he is elder than Krishna. Still, he has that bhav that I am the servant of Krishna. The primary rasa of Balaram is Aksha. That is the primary rasa of Balaram. Krishna and Balaram are very close friends. All the cowherd boys are always with Krishna and Balaram, and all the Sakharas Leela happens with Balaram. So in that way, Balaram serves Krishna in Sakha. Then Vasalya, elder brother is always like father. So Mother Jasoda feels very confident when Balaram is there with Krishna. Because Mother Jasoda is always in worry that what will happen to Krishna if he goes to the forest. But if Balaram is there, she is confident that Krishna will be taken care of. So Balaram takes care of Krishna in that fatherly affection. So in that way, parental mood is also there. And 4 rasas are covered. The problem with Madhurya Ras. Because in Madhurya Ras, you have to have a female body. But Balaram is in a male body. So how to perform that? And he expands himself as Ananga Manjari and serves Krishna in Madhurya Ras. So in that way, Balaram is serving Krishna in all 5 rasas. So this is the Siddhanta, and same Balaram has come as Nityananda Prabhu, and Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So today is the day of Nityananda Prabhu, so that's why we will focus more on Nityananda Prabhu, not on Mahaprabhu. Right? Mahaprabhu will be very pleased if we discuss about Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu will be very happy if we discuss about Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That is the mood. And that is the spiritual mood. In the spiritual world, everybody wants to hear others' glorification. But in this world, we love to hear our own glorification. Right? That's why whole social media is established, right? To glorify ourselves, because nobody is glorifying, so who else can glorify? We should glorify ourselves. That is the system has been established, right? That is the feature of this world. But spiritual world is not like that. Actually, glorification of oneself is like suicidal, according to Vedas, according to scriptures. We should not glorify ourselves. We should glorify Krishna and his devotees. And we should criticize ourselves. We should find faults in ourselves, not to find good qualities in ourselves. That is the process of bhakti. The symptom of bhakti is that if someone is advancing in Krishna consciousness, what is the symptom? He will find faults in himself, but he will find all good qualities in others. That is a symptom of advanced devotees. So, Nityananda Prabhu, although he is Balaram, but his mood is very different in Chaitanya Lila. Because Krishna's mood is also different in Chaitanya Lila. When Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his mood is completely different. Magnanimous mood, merciful nature, extremely merciful. So that mood is the mood of Gaur-Nitai. Once Prabhupada was talking about the mercy of Gaur-Nitai and he choked up that how merciful they are. So people say, what Lord does for us? The Lord does everything for us. Right? But people don't recognize that. They think, they always blame God. That I am suffering because of Him. I am in this material world because of Him. Right? That is the tendency. People ask also, why Lord has created this material world? Why He has created this temporary body? Why He is making some system so that we have to suffer? He has not done that. We wanted to have that. People don't understand that. Krishna never wants that we will come to this material world. He always wants that we should be in the spiritual world. Because of that, He comes again and again, again and again. Jada jada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samasta punarthaya sambhavami yuga yuga. He comes in every yuga. Again and again He is coming. We are giving so much gali, abusive language, offending Him, criticizing Him, left, right and center. Right? Still, He is not coming, He is with us all the time as Paramatma. Whether we are a human body, demigod body, animal body, insect's body, hog's body, any body, Lord is always there with us as Paramatma, fulfilling all our desires. Still we have complained. Because complaint is the disease of this material world. We always have something to complain. So in order to enter into the spiritual world, we have to be free from the disease of complaining. That's why 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam explains, when someone is in difficulty, when he accepts the difficulty in grateful heart and thanks God and continues devotional service, he is eligible to enter into the spiritual kingdom. Grateful heart. We have to be very, very grateful. Whatever we have got it. So much opportunities, so much facilities are provided by Krishna, in spite of being offended again and again by the conditioned souls. He is making all kinds of arrangements so that the conditioned soul can go back to the spiritual world. And when that intensity of mercy comes to a climax, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears with his associates, Panchatattva. And his main assistant in his Sankirtan movement is Nityananda Prabhu. So Mahaprabhu came to give love of Godhead to anyone and everyone without any discrimination. Anarpita charing chirat kurunaya avatirna kalou samarpaitum unnata ujjala rasang sabhakti sriyam Hori purata sundara duti kadamba sandipita sada hidaya kandare spuratuva Sachinandan. Sachinandan Gaurhari has appeared just to distribute love of Godhead. Not only love of Godhead, Braja Prema Bhakti, love of Vrindavan. So that treasure is very, very rare, but it is being distributed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to anyone and everyone without any discrimination. And main person who is doing that is Nityananda Prabhu. That's why he is the father of the Sankirtan movement. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur to spread this Sankirtan movement. After Mahaprabhu came back from Gaya, before that he was not in that mood. When he met Ishvara Puri, got initiated, saw the lotus feet of Vishnu, then he was developing love of Godhead. And when love of Godhead was manifested in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was mad, in ecstasy, and he was running towards Vrindavan. And that time message came from the sky, this is not the right time to go to Vrindavan. So he came to this world to establish the Yuga Dharma, Harinam Sankirtan. Now you are supposed to go to Navadvip Dham and start this Sankirtan movement. So Mahaprabhu changed his plan and came back to Navadvip. And he was in ecstasy, in love of God. And people thought that he has become crazy. He has become insane. Because symptoms are like that. In this world, people are generally mad. There is no choice other than to be mad, but we have to choose for whom we should become mad. Mostly people are mad for sense enjoyment, but success in our human form of life is when we become mad for Krishna. So Mahaprabhu became mad for Krishna. And the other Pandit told Mother Sachi also that this disease is a very good disease. I want that disease also. It's a disease of love of God. So Mahaprabhu instructed Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas. Sana sana Nityananda, sana Haridas, sarvatra amaragga, karaho prakash, poti ghare ghare giya, karo ei bhiksha, bala Krishna bhaja Krishna, karo Krishna shiksha. So this is the instruction to Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. Some people say that we should always chant. Haridas Thakur was chanting always, but he was also preaching Krishna consciousness. That is our mood, Goshtyanandi. There are two kinds of Vaishnavas, Goshtyanandi Vaishnavas and Bhajananandi Vaishnavas. So Bhajananandi Vaishnavas, they do only bhajan for their spiritual perfection. That is glorious. But Goshtyanandi Vaishnavas, they are not only happy to be Vaishnavas by themselves, they want to see that everyone becomes Vaishnavas. That's why they distribute Krishna consciousness. That is the mood of Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. Mahaprabhu had that mood, Nityananda Prabhu had that mood, then Goswami had that mood. So this is the Parampara of sharing Krishna consciousness. So if we want to be Gaudiya Vaishnavas, then we have to share Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada writes, if we don't distribute Krishna consciousness, then we'll have the anartha of Jiv Hinshan. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada writes, Jiv Hinshan, one of the 6 anarthas, weeds, unwanted creepers. And one of them is Jiv Hinshan, giving pain, giving problems to other living entities. So why people in this world are suffering? Because they are not Krishna conscious. That's the cause of suffering. So if someone knows that, and even after that he does not distribute that Krishna consciousness to relieve the sufferings of this material world, then he is also inflicted by the dosa of Jiva. So it's not a choice that whether we should preach Krishna consciousness or not. It is our prime responsibility as a sadhaka. So therefore, Nityananda Prabhu, along with Haridas Thakur, were instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to preach Krishna consciousness. And what is the meaning of spreading Krishna consciousness? Three things. Bolo Krishna, which we have to inspire people to chant Hare Krishna. Then Bhaja Krishna, worship Krishna. And Kara Krishna Shiksha, education. Study Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, do Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. So this is the three aspects of Krishna Bhakti Prachar. There is nothing else. Bala Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Kara Krishna. Sometimes we become confused what to do. What does that preaching mean? Preaching means these three. And that was very clear when Mahaprabhu instructed Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu also said, Jare dekho, tare kaho, Krishna Paris. Amar Aggai Guru Hoya, Tare. No specific audience was chosen by Mahaprabhu. What was the direction given by Mahaprabhu? Jare dekho. Whoever you meet, Krishna consciousness should be shared. This is a very important mood. And every place should be covered. Not only Bangalore. Prithivite ache jata nagaradi gram, sarvatra prachar hoibe morna. Mahaprabhu expected that in every town and village all over the world, this holy name will spread. All-inclusive process. Everybody is included, all the places are included. It's a very big vision. Right? And anybody can spend their whole life. No problem, right? People start saying, what I should do? What I am supposed to do? Mahaprabhu gave very clear instructions. Unlimited scope of doing seva. Sometimes devotees also think, what should I do? I have no service. So that is a great disservice to think that I have no service. It's mine. It's mind's game. Because I am to do what my mind wants me to do. Right? I want to do. But we are not thinking what Krishna wants me to do. So coming back to the point of preaching, because Nityananda Prabhu means preaching. Mahaprabhu sent him back to Bengal. He said, I could not do much in Bengal. You go and do this. That is the power of Nityananda Prabhu. Mahaprabhu is establishing the position of Nityananda Prabhu. That what he could not do, Nityananda Prabhu did it. And that's the way Mahaprabhu wants to glorify his devotees. He wanted to establish the glories of Lord Nityananda. So what is the qualities? What are the qualities we have to cultivate in order to preach Krishna consciousness? That is very, very important. And before that, we have to see the strategy, preaching strategy of Nityananda. Although he is a Supreme Personality Godhead, but also they had some strategic plan. Strategy is very important. If you don't plan, it is said, no, if you fail to plan, you are planning for failure. It's very important principle. We have to plan, but you have to execute also. Strategy is very good, but you have to have an action plan also. Otherwise, always strategy. What is vision? What is vision? But what is action? Preaching means action. So, Nityananda Prabhu thought that if I can make Jagai and Madhai as devotees, then whole Navadvip will become devotees. And this is our parampara, taking a risk. It's very risky. They are the mafia don of Navadvip that time. Everybody used to be scared by seeing if they come from that side, they will run away from this. That was the position of Jagai and Madhai. They are from Brahmin family actually. They are named Jagadananda and Madhavananda. And they thought this is too much good name for our work. We should change our name. We should not think only spirituality, we change names. For mafia work also you should change your name. Initiation is needed everywhere. So they got initiated into new names. Jaganananda became Jagai and Madhavananda became Madhav. They thought this is very good names. And they are also very regular in studying scriptures. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya is to do in the morning. And they should take notes also, very sincere students. And what are the notes? What are the sinful activities are explained in Vedas? And what are the most serious sinful activities? So they should take notes. After breakfast, go out for preaching work. And they did everything. Whatever criminal activities you can think of, they are doing every day. Burning houses, raping women, killing people, stealings, anything you can think of, they are doing. And nobody was able to do anything also because they are also supported by the local administrators. So they are like that. So that mood is there. And Nityananda Prabhu thought if they become devotees, then out of fear also, whole Navadip will become devotees. Right? That's why Prabhupada chose America. Because following in the footsteps of Nityananda Prabhu. Somebody asked Prabhupada, why you chose America to start your preaching? He said that my godbrothers went to Europe, but they could not succeed. I thought that if I have to fail in a new place. So, and if you fail in America, that is also glorious. I failed in America. Right? If somebody fails in PhD, it's good, na? PhDF. 1 degree. There is a story also. In 1997, there was a synthesis of science and religion in Calcutta. So qualification to participate is you have to be a PhD. So one devotee wanted to be part of that and he had a card, then PhDF. Nobody could understand. They had PhD but never had PhDF. And people are curious and one of them asked, what is PhDF? He said, PhD, tried but failed. So if you fail in PhD, that's also glorious. In the same way, Prabhupada thought, if I fail in America, then that will be glorious. And if I become successful in America, whole world follows America, then whole world will become Krishna conscious. That was his strategic plan. So Nityananda Prabhu had the strategic plan. And Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur used to be very scared, and because he goes to all this kind of people. And Haridas Thakur said, what a partner I got, preaching partner. Very dangerous. So Nityananda Prabhu got hurt by Madhai, right? Bleeding. He was hurt, injured. Actually, Madhai wanted to kill him. So Mahaprabhu got the news. And he came running in furious mood. He invited Sudarshan to kill. Nityananda said, my dear Lord, this is not the age of killing demons. This is the age of killing demoniac nature. Sudarshan is not the suitable weapon for this age of killing. You have a separate weapon, that is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. So by the plea, request of Nityananda Prabhu, Jagai Madhai were forgiven and love of Godhead was awarded to Jagai and Madhai. So sinful activities, it was nothing for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he delivered. Why? Nityananda Prabhu was pleading for them. So if someone receives the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, then there is no problem in life. Perfect. So Mahaprabhu's preaching is very interesting preaching. While he was coming to South India, not going to South India. So while he was coming to South India, because we are in South India now, so on the way, people used to come to see him because he was wonderful looking and chanting the holy name, brilliant, sannyasi. So they used to be attracted, and Mahaprabhu used to inspire them to chant Hare Krishna. And he used to tell, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Then they used to chant. And when they used to chant, Mahaprabhu became so pleased. Mahaprabhu used to embrace them. And immediately love of God. No Mangala, no Siksha program, no Japa, nothing. One embrace, perfection. You want that? But maybe we will not be so willing because we want to have some austerity to do, right? People think so simple. We don't have to do anything because we don't have the faith in the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So one embrace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made few of them fully Krishna conscious. They went back to their village. And villagers started thinking they are normal before. Now they have become pagal. They are acting very strange way. Love of God, it means like that. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, sometimes you run, sometimes you stop. You should not imitate that. But these are the symptoms of love of God. And they are exhibiting that. And they started thinking, what happened to them? But Krishna Prema is a contagious disease, and they came to see them. And they also encouraged them. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! And they also developed love of God. This is the potency of Mahaprabhu's embrace. Not only those who got the embrace of Mahaprabhu got love of Godhead, through them also, all the villagers, they got love of Godhead. Then neighboring village, they thought, what's going on in that village? Everybody became mad. So it's a fun. People like to see the fun. So they came to see the fun. When they came, they are also inspired by these devotees of that village to chant the holy name. And by chanting, they also became pure devotees. And they went back to their village. And whole village became Krishna conscious. In that way, village after village, town after town, city after city, the whole South India became Krishna conscious. And what is the process? No one-time program, no Sikh session, no Gita course, nothing. What was that? That was Mahaprabhu. But Nityananda Prabhu is more interesting. In Raghav Pandit's house, Nityananda Prabhu was glancing at the people. Just glance and love of God. That was the power of Nityananda Prabhu. The merciful glance, the loving glance of Nityananda Prabhu was enough for them to experience love of God. Thousands and thousands of people are mad in ecstasy. If you read Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is explained so wonderfully that Nityananda Prabhu's first time in the house of Raghav Pandit at Panihati. So that was the power of Nityananda Prabhu, compassion. So Nityananda Prabhu was preaching Krishna consciousness, but our acharyas are explaining the qualities of Nityananda. In order to preach Krishna consciousness, we have to develop some qualities. Only desire is not enough. We have to have qualities. So, I am narrating this last few days. This is very, very important for us to know because our movement is a Sankirtan movement, our movement is a preaching movement. But in order to do that properly, we have to have the proper qualities in our character. We said, Akrada Paramananda Nityananda Rai, Abhiman Sunna Nitai. I am just narrating these two lines because other lines we'll discuss later on because we don't have so much time. Akrada Paramananda Nityananda Rai. So in order to preach Krishna consciousness, you have to be free from anger. Anger is very common feature of the modern society, right? People become angry very easily. For small things, people become angry. And if you have to see that, travel in local trains, especially in Mumbai and Calcutta, where trains are very crowded. For one seat, he'll come out of the train in the next station. But for that, they'll fight. Not only verbal fight, physical fights also. So much impatience. Why we have this kind of quality? Because we don't have spiritual qualities. We are filled with passion. Passion. Passion is the root cause of anger, right? Bhagavad Gita explains. Kamayesha, Krodayesha, Rajaguna, Samudbhava. So, passion is the root, Rajaguna. But in order to preach, we have to have compassion, not passion. So, journey is from passion to compassion. So, how to develop compassion? Very simple. Compassion means calm passion. Passion जब कम होता जाएगा, compassion बढ़ता जाएगा. Simple. In order to exhibit the quality of compassion, we have to reduce our passion. Rajagun को कम करना. So how we can reduce passion? What is the process? Increase goodness. I'm just joking. How to reduce passion? Nityam bhagavata seva. Nashta prayasya abhadreshu nityam bhagavata seva. Bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati nashti. Very, very powerful tool is to hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly. Nityam means constantly. Srila Prabhupada writes, a devotee should chant the holy name and hear Srimad Bhagavatam 24 hours a day. It's nice to read, but very difficult to practice in life. Right? Prabhupada knows that. That's why he has not introduced Nityam Bhagavata Seva. He has introduced Nityam Bhagavata Seva the way we can practice. 1 hour a day. Right? And that is also difficult. When you hear Bhagavatam, eyelids become very heavy. Because you don't have any taste in Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no taste. Now, Krishna is very tricky. The most effective way to advance in Krishna consciousness in this age of Kali are two things. Hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting the holy name. And during these two activities, eyelids play a very different role. And people say, Prabhu, during chanting, if you sleep for some time, so very refreshing. I don't get that feeling after 6 hours of sleep. Right or wrong? The problem is now we have to chant together, they disturb the sleep. That is the only problem. So, that's why we say, if you want to sleep more, join ISKCON. 6 hours at night, 2 hours during japa, 1 hour during Bhagavatam class. 9 hours sleep is guaranteed. And if you cannot sleep, join Bhagavatam class. Because there is a story, all of you know, but better to hear again. One man came in Bhagavatam class during Prabhupada's time. Prabhupada was doing Bhagavatam class in the morning. That man came and he saw my class is going on. He sat down, new man. As soon as he sat down, he slept. He could not recognize also, did not realize that he slept. Then class was over, still he was sleeping. Because he did not know after class there is breakfast. But devotees know. So devotees discontinued their sleep, but he was continuing the sleep. That devotees went to wake him up. And he woke up. He said, what happened? He said, where is Swamiji? Where is Swamiji? They said, now is the time for breakfast. I said, okay, breakfast is also available. So how much I have to pay? Free. Oh, wow, ISKCON is very wonderful. Class was free. Breakfast is also free. So he was very impressed. He took breakfast. Then after breakfast, same question. Where is the Swamiji? Where is the Swamiji? People are thinking, why he is so curious about the Swamiji? Said, why you are so much curious to see the Swamiji? No. The Swamiji is very powerful. Very powerful. Mystic power he has. Said, why? He said, I have to be honest with all of you. I never slept in my life. I have a disease. I have to so many doctors. I took so many medicines. Still, I could not sleep at night. But here, early in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, in front of the Lord, along with so many people, I am sitting down. I don't know what happened. What an experience I went through. Matchless experience. So your Swamiji must be very powerful. So if you have any sleeping problem, join Bhagavatam class. That's a nice way to attract Krishna consciousness. So why we cannot be awake? Sometimes people think, the Nayanam Galadastu Dharaya Badanam Gadgadurudrai, what will happen? When that will happen? When that will happen? First be awake. That is too far for us, right? The security guards, night security guards are paid. The main thing they expect that you should be awake. That's why they're paid, right? Whether you are doing anything or not, that's not so important. You should be awake. In the same way, the prime quality one should develop first during japa is to be awake. Then other things will follow. Prabhupada used to tell in a very nice way, one devotee said, Prabhupada, how to become Krishna conscious when I am sleeping? Prabhupada said, are you Krishna conscious when you are awake? We are sleeping during the most important spiritual activity, but we want to think of Krishna during our sleeping. First, be awake while we are chanting the holy name, while we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So coming to the point that why it's happening? Because we don't have any taste in the holy name. Why you don't have the taste in the holy name and hearing? Because we have the passion. Passion and ignorance. Those who are having ignorance, they sleep, and those who are having passion, they make the plan. During japa, it's a very nice time for planning. Planning for the day, planning for the week, planning for the year, planning for the life, and planning beyond life. The most effective time to plan is japa time. So that is the problem. We always in the future or in the past. That's why we are not getting the benefit of practicing Krishna consciousness. We have to be present what we are doing. That is the most difficult austerity. Mind will go either in the past or in the future. That's why you are not able to focus in Krishna consciousness. That's why you are not getting the benefit of practicing Krishna consciousness. That is the most important principle. So whatever we are doing, we have to do it attentively. What is the time now? How long? I'm finished. There is no breakfast today. That is the disadvantage of the today's program. So you cannot sleep today. So you can continue a little more time? Little more time. So akrodha. So you have to be free from anger. And the process to be free from anger is we have to be free from passion. And that is the process which is just discussed. Nityam Bhagavata Seva. We have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam attentively and we have to serve the Vaishnavas. Why you don't have taste in the hearing process? Because you don't serve the Vaishnavas. Serving the Vaishnavas is very, very important principle. When we serve Bhakti Bhagavata, person Bhagavata, then we can develop a taste in hearing Granth Bhagavata. It's connected. So that principle has to be understood and practiced. Akrodha, then Paramananda. Paramananda. We have to be in Ananda. We have to be in bliss. Then we can preach Krishna consciousness properly. Who can preach? Who is happy? That's why Prabhupada used to be very confident. Chant and be happy. Chant and be happy. But the problem is that even after chanting also, that thing is not coming. And the struggle, if you want to see in devotee's life, then go and see when they are chanting. Right? It's a struggle. One of my close friends says, why Prabhupada has given 16 rounds? Very difficult. But Prabhupada said, chant and be happy. It works. Whether you are having taste in the holy name or not having taste in the holy name, definitely chanting will give you happiness. Right or wrong? You are agreeing? Are you agreeing to this? Not. Those who do not have taste, they feel the happiest, they experience the most happy moment when 16 round is completed. Right or not? So that is the symptom of a person who does not have taste in the holy name. They feel happy when 16 round is finished. I have done. No more. Again, Japamala tomorrow. So that's the symptom of no taste. And those who have taste, they experience happiness during chanting. And they feel to chant more even after finishing 16 rounds. That is a symptom of taste. Just like prasad. Very easy example to relate to. Because we have some taste in prasadam, right? Yes. Yes, okay. Prasadam, when it is very tasty, even after eating up to this, we feel, why not? Why it is filled up to now? Still, devotees want to eat more. Why? Very tasty. But if prasadam is not tasty, before eating itself, stomach is full. You don't feel to eat. Why? Because there is no taste. So developing taste is very, very important. Ruchi. Then what will happen? The taste of this material world will disappear. Right? But now problem is that we have the knowledge and philosophy of higher taste, but we have the experience of material happiness, the lower taste. That's why the problem. That's why na ghar ka, na ghar. Struggling. That's why chanting is a struggle for us because we don't have any taste for it. That's why Prabhupada said we have to be free from anarthas as soon as possible. Anartha nibriti. Ado saddha tada sadhu sangha bhajana kriya. Anartha nibriti. Nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava, and then this is the journey. So people also ask, how long it will take? Right? When that day will come, when we will experience the Sikhastakam verse, Nayanam galadashtu dharaya, Badanam gadgadaruddhaya gira. When that will come, right? You don't have the desire? You feel like that, no? When? How long it will take? How long it will take? He's scratching head. How long it will take? How long? Depends on sincerity. But I am not asking that question. I am not asking that. I am asking the number of years, or number of months, number of hours, number of minutes, number of seconds. 1 moment. Really? But we are chanting for so long? Things are not happening? At least for me, but I don't know, you are also experiencing maybe. So years and years are going on, the same thing, but still no taste. Why? How long it will take? You have to hear that, a story, how long it will take. I'm telling everywhere, this is a very interesting story. So there is a villager. He was staying in a village and he did not go out of the village in his life. But one day, he had to go out of the village because he had some work to do. And he had to do that, he had to go to a place, and he could go to that place by train. And he also doesn't know, he didn't know, his past story, he didn't know where is the station. So he came out to his house, walking, and on the way he saw a farmer. And he thought maybe he knows where is the station, how long it will take to reach the station. He asked the question that, can you tell me how long it will take to go to the station? He was not answering. He thought he was not loud enough, so he became louder. He asked the same question, can you tell me how long it will take from here to go to the station? No answer. He thought he has some hearing problem. So he became more louder, asking the same question, no answer. I think he started thinking that he has hearing problem, also have some other problem also. He thought if I stay with him for some more time, then I may miss the train. Then he started running. And when he started running, the farmer replied, it will take 15 minutes. He was surprised. He said, I was shouting, screaming at you, and you are not answering. And when I started running, you are telling 15 minutes. Why? He said, when you asked me the question, that time I did not know your speed. Now you are running, I know your speed. If you run in this speed, it will take 15 minutes. So how long it will take for us to go to the wonderful place known as Goloka Vrindavan? Depends on our speed. So speed, those who drive car, you know how to increase the speed, right? How? Accelerate. But if the car is in neutral gear, and you heard the story, put the accelerator, what will happen? Sound and smoke. If your car is old, what will happen? Only sound will come out. But everything is okay. But car will not move. Why? Car is in neutral gear. In order to have the speed, the car has to win first gear, then second gear, third gear, which means it has to come out from neutral gear. In the same way, as long as you have attachment for this material world, the car of devotional service is in neutral gear. More accelerator, more sound. Just like many people, many devotees chant so loudly. You can chant very loudly, but change has to happen here, not in external expressions. Right? There are so many expressions during chanting. Different styles, no? Different style to make it wonderful. But it will not become wonderful because problem is within. That has to be changed. Attachment. As long as attachment will be there, it is very, very difficult to concentrate the mind on chanting. So hearing from realized souls is the secret to be free from attachment. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhaka Gunai Shravanadi Suddha Chitte Padhogunai. The hearing, attentive hearing is the key with Shraddha from a realized person. There are three levels of knowledge: acquired knowledge, realized knowledge, and revealed knowledge. Acquired knowledge is information. And by the mercy of Google, you don't need anybody to get information. Right? Too much information. But information is not the goal of spiritual life. What is the goal of spiritual life? Transformation. Information cannot give you transformation. Sometimes people think like that, I know. Those who think like that, they don't know anything. But we cannot know Krishna. We cannot know spirituality by information. We can know Krishna by transformation. So spiritual life is a transformation, change of heart. It's beyond intellect, beyond mind. So that is the interesting point you have to understand. So how transformation takes place? When we apply that knowledge in our practical life. Application. Application of acquired knowledge leads to realized knowledge. And when realization will become complete, 100%, then we can attain revealed knowledge. Just like Brahma, he saw the spiritual world and wrote Brahma Samhita. Valmiki Muni saw the pastimes of Ram and wrote Valmiki Ramayana. Vyasadeva saw and composed Srimad Bhagavatam. This is called revealed knowledge. It's not the writing expertise, poetic expertise. By that, you cannot understand Krishna, because it is beyond material intellect. So that's the point. That's why you have to hear from realized souls. Because from realized souls, information will not come. What will come? Transform knowledge. Because his heart is already transformed. Therefore, when you hear from them, then transformation will take place. So, in the heart of the pure devotees, Lord resides and takes rest. Govinda Vishram. For everyone, Lord resides in the heart as Paramatma. But for pure devotee, Lord resides as Govinda. There's a difference. So when pure devotee speaks, he speaks from the heart, not from the intellect. Divyagyan, Hridaya Prakashit. It's not written Divyagyan, Brahne Prakashit. No. But where it is revealed? Tene Brahma Hidajo Adikove. The spiritual knowledge, the Vedic knowledge was revealed where? In the heart of Brahma. Why heart? Because Atma is there, Paramatma is there in the heart, not in the brain. That's why heart is more important for spiritual realizations. So heart has to change. So pure devotee, his heart is changed. So when he speaks about Krishna, that Krishna Katha has a lot of potency. Why? Because that Katha carries the aroma of the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna. Very, very powerful. And when that Krishna Katha enters into the heart of a sincere listener, then what happens? Krishna is transferred from the heart of the speaker to the heart of the listener. And Prabhupada explains that is the meaning of initiation. Initiation means transfer of Krishna from the heart of the Guru to the heart of the disciple. That is the change. Initiation means change in life. But what change? Change of heart. But we go through a lot of changes, right? So the process of initiation, primarily, what happens? Name is changed. People say, I am initiated. Why? My name is changed. My hairstyle is changed. My dress is changed. My place of stay is also changed. I am staying in ashram now. Changed. Everything is changing except the real thing, which is supposed to be changed. That is the heart. That is the problem. Because the problem is here. So spiritual life means changing the heart. And that will happen when you hear from realized souls. There is no other way. By our own endeavor, we cannot change our heart. Only the katha, the talks, spiritual talks by the pure devotees is the medicine to cure our heart disease. And that's why changing heart is very, very important. And Akrada Paramananda, Nityananda Rai, then what will happen? We can experience the bliss of Krishna consciousness, the joy, what we are hankering for, that will be experienced when heart is changed. And that is possible. Akrada Paramananda is possible when Abhiman Sunna Nitai Nagri. We have to give up our ego. And that is the main austerity. Giving up so many things is difficult, but giving up ego is the real austerity. And we are stuck in that. Very difficult to give up ego. But Nityananda Prabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is completely free from ego. So in order to experience Ananda and distribute that Ananda of Krishna consciousness, the qualification is freedom from ego. So I give a very simple formula of ego based on the scriptures so that we can understand and remember. E-G-O. E, engage in menial services. G, give credit to others. O, offer respects to everyone. If we practice this principle, it's a very, very effective way to be free from ego. So time is not there. Maybe in the future we can discuss in detail about this ego. But offering respect is very, very important. Amanina manadena. That is Mahaprabhu's principle. Not expecting respect, but ready to offer respect. And we are stuck in that. Opposite is prevailing in our life. We want respect, but we are not ready to give respect. Expecting respect is the problem. Getting respect is not the problem. Expecting. But when you get regularly, then you expect. Expectations lead to frustrations, not joy. When you give up expectations, then you can experience joy. So when we give up the expectation of receiving respect, and when heart is filled with the desire to offer respect, then that heart will be filled up with the joy of Krishna consciousness, Paramananda. And Nityananda Prabhu is the perfect example of that Paramananda. And he can preach Krishna consciousness wonderfully, following in the footsteps of Lord Nityananda. So on this auspicious day of Lord Nityananda Prabhu's appearance, we can pray for his mercy, beg at his lotus feet, so that these qualities can manifest in our character and our life will become successful. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Nityananda Trayadasi Mahamahotsav ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Any question? – 9:30 now. I don't know if you have any question. There is no cordless mic. Okay, no problem. You have to speak louder then.
Thank you.
For me, it's no problem, but for others, I don't know. I'll repeat.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for this formula of ego. It's based on the scripture which you gave.
You like ego or you like the
Formula which is engaging in gratitude and giving credit to others and respect to others. Actually, this actually mentioned these three things we need. Reaching these three things. Bola Krishna, Bola Krishna, Bola Krishna, Krishna. No,
I never said. Mahaprabhu said to Nityananda Prabhu. I just repeated.
There are three different activities. So, when to prioritize which one?
Depending on the audience. Mahaprabhu In the mass audience, he always encouraged Bolo Krishna. And when he had to deal with Ramananda, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Prakashananda Saraswati, then
Krishna.
Krishna.
When we are in our daily routine, there are no audience.
That's individual practice. What is the meaning of preaching? Preaching means you have to inspire people to chant the holy name. You have to inspire them to worship Krishna. You have to inspire them to study Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the meaning of preaching. That's what Mahaprabhu is telling Nityananda. Okay. So you have to do that also. If you want to preach, then we have to practice. We have to chant, we have to worship, we have to study. Then we can win effective preachers. Achar, then prachar. First we have to practice. Apani achari dharma jivare sikhai. First we have to practice. If you don't practice, I am not chanting, but you are trying to inspire others to chant. It's not going to work. He said, I am in Maya, but I don't want you to be in Maya. Some people say also, you are doing wonderful, keep on doing. Do for me also. Right? They will not do, but they will inspire. That's not going to work. First, we have to practice what we speak. Why Prabhupada was so powerful preacher? Because he was practicing and not practicing. He was completely convinced what he was talking. Our own conviction is the real wealth to convince others. That's why Prabhupada used to say, are you convinced Krishna is God? Are you convinced you are the servant of Krishna? You used to check whether we are convinced or not. Okay? How to sincerely hear? By hearing sincerely. How to become sincere? By becoming sincere. Prabhupada used to say like that. Somebody asked Prabhupada, how to become humble? Prabhupada said, by becoming humble, you can become humble. Like that. Sincerity means what? First you have to know what is the meaning of sincerity. You know? Why you don't know? It's English word, simple word. बताइए जो आपका being honest to our superiors, that is sincerity. Okay, one way of looking at it. Any other meaning of sincerity from the audience? If you are sure, then okay, you can speculate also. Speculating on spiritual subject matter is also okay. Art of dependence is sincerity. Okay.
Sincerity of purpose.
Sincerity of the purpose. Okay. Doing the things while being present. Next.
Whatever we are for Bhakti, not doing those things nicely.
Doing very nicely. What is nice?
Following those things which are better.
Okay. Last one, time is limited. Huh?
Taking ownership of ourselves.
Taking ownership of ourselves. You are the owner.
Responsibility of whatever.
Taking responsibility. Ownership of responsibility. Everything belongs to Krishna. You accept that, no? Krishna is the owner. Sincerity means giving 100% for Krishna. That is the meaning of sincerity in spiritual life. That's the definition given by our acharyas. That attracts the mercy of Krishna. So next question, how to give 100%? Those who are giving 100%, serve them, associate with them. That will give the strength to become sincere. Sincerity comes from sincere association of the sincere devotee. That's the process of developing sincerity. Okay? Simple formula. You are happy with that? Okay. Any other question?
So life after life, material elements keep on binding us, and we are not able to. I'm not able to take to Krishna consciousness like fully. So So material attachments, how to remove that?
I spoke already, na? Hearing from detached person. Those who are detached. If you hear from them, will be detached. जैसे संग ऐसा रंग. आपको डिटैच होना है तो डिटैच लोगों के पास रहना चाहिए. अटैच लोगों के पास रहोगे तो आपको भी अटैचमेंट बढ़ता जाएगा. लेकिन नहीं संग एसोसिएशन. Right? You're accepting it or not? Any other?
Why when you are hearing?
I already told. Huh?
How much time we have to hear?
How much time you have to hear?
Above that.
To come
Above that.
come above the attachment. What do you think? What do you think? बोलिए, आपको क्या लगता है कितना घंटा सुनना पड़ेगा? पहले तो ढूंढना पड़ेगा सुखदेव गोस्वामी किधर है. लेकिन ये लोग ऐसे पूछते हैं सुखदेव गोस्वामी किधर मिलेगा? क्योंकि परीक्षित महाराज किनसे सुने? सुखदेव गोस्वामी से सुने ना, शुद्ध भक्त. तो शुद्ध भक्त किधर मिलेगा? लोग पूछते हैं शुद्ध भक्त कौन है, वो भी जानना चाहिए. तो आपको जानना भी चाहिए किसके मुख से सुन रहे हो, कौन सा लेवल में. लेकिन हम लोग भावुक हो जाते हैं, हम लोग सोचते सब शुद्ध भक्त, सब गोलोक वृंदावन जा रहा है. हम लोग सेंटिमेंटल होके बोलते हैं. कौन गोलोक वृंदावन जा सकता है? जिसके हृदय में शुद्ध कृष्ण भक्ति का क्या बोलते हैं प्रकाश हुआ है, जिसके हृदय में काम नहीं है, जिसके हृदय में प्रेम है, वही गोलोक वृंदावन जाएगा. साधक कभी गोलोक वृंदावन नहीं जा सकता. सिद्ध, साधन सिद्ध, कृपा सिद्ध, नित्य सिद्ध, they can only go back and back to God, not sadhakas. Sadhaka has to practice. But we think, oh, they are practicing so nicely, so we'll go back and back to God. No. They're practicing nicely, that's wonderful. But that's not the qualification to enter into Golok Vrindavan. Golok Vrindavan is not the place to practice. तो क्रिकेट खेलते हैं लोग, फील्ड में जाते हैं मैच खेलने के लिए, प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए जाते हैं. उससे पहले प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ता है. तो प्रैक्टिस में परफेक्ट होते हैं तभी तो सिलेक्ट होते हैं ना. इसी तरह भगवान के पास जाना है तो सिद्ध बनना चाहिए. शुद्ध सिद्ध. सिद्ध कौन है? जो शुद्ध है. शुद्ध कौन है? जो सिद्ध है. तो कितना टाइम सुनना पड़ेगा, इससे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है किसके मुख से सुनना. साधु संग सर्वशास्त्र का है, लघु मात्र साधु संग सर्वसिद्धि. If you get association of Narada Muni, one moment your life can be transformed. That is the power. So potency of the pure devotees is more important than hours or days. Okay? Parikshit Maharaj, immediately by seeing Sukadeva Goswami was there. So it doesn't work like that. How many hours? But Prabhupada says a devotee should always hear 24 hours a day. He should chant the holy name and read Srimad Bhagavatam. He writes in this book. But if you cannot do that, then Prabhupada said minimum 16 rounds, minimum 2 hours. So he has some minimum arrangement so that you can do something and slowly increase. At that time, other practical services, because you don't have that taste to hear continuously for 24 hours. 1 hour is so difficult. Today, 1.5 hours, people are thinking, why need to learn? Again, no, I'm not telling you, I'm just telling in general. So, that's the proof that we don't have that level of taste. But one day we have to come to that level. Because Golok Vrindavan, there is no work. There is no office. Always they are chanting and hearing about the glories of the Lord. That is Golok Vrindavan. So if you want to enter there, then you have to have that kind of taste. Otherwise, what's the point going there? Okay. Number of hours is not important. But Prabhupada has set some minimum. So we should hear Bhagavatam every day, 1 hour. We should chant minimum 16 rounds. These are the minimum things prescribed by our founder Acharya. That should be followed. And if you can do more, that is wonderful. Okay? Hare Krishna. So we'll end here. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.